came here to say that I have a love-hate relationship with panels. As an event planner, I love them because, in my opinion, they're so easy and lowbrow to plan. Of course, depending on the size and all of that, if you're dealing with a high-profile person, it does get more complex. But for the most part, the run of show is pretty simple. A little intro, icebreaker, then you have the questions that are going to be asked, and then you facilitate the Q&A. Especially if it's virtual, to me, it doesn't get much easier than that. As a guest, though, I just simply don't have the attention span to sit through a panel anymore. I don't like it. I don't want to do it. I'm typically invited to attend a lot of different panels, and I appreciate the concept, and the topics are interesting, but not enough for me to get ready and go out to listen to someone talk. I am an avid podcast listener, and I think podcasts are the new panels for me. I can multitask while I'm listening to a podcast. I can react in the comments. It's just the way that I prefer to listen to someone talk. And typically that's what a lot of people do. They will record live podcasts, and then I can listen to it in my free time whenever it works for me. But yeah, I'm just not in the mood to attend panels anymore. In my opinion, I feel like we need more roundtable discussions where someone is an expert in their field. And I actually, through work, have hosted these professionally, and with MBA students, we'll typically have roundtables with admission officers. And that's a great way for people to be able to, in a smaller forum, be able to ask insightful questions for the admission officers to share more about themselves. So I like that format where I'm getting the information I need. The person who's providing all of that insight feels important, which I think is what panels and really events like that do. It's like you're sharing your knowledge with people. They're getting a lot more insight, but I think roundtable discussions allow for people to feel more included in the conversation. And it's just that it's a conversation. It's not you getting talked to. And professionally and even in my free time when I'm running my business, that's just the attitude that we want. We want people to be able to build community. We want people to feel like they have a voice instead of just listening and sitting. I think my generation and generations after me, we just don't have the attention span that, older generations typically had. We just have to adapt to the current time. So let me know if you guys feel the same. Roundtable discussions are the way to go. Obviously, if it's a high profile celebrity that needs to be in the room, I think it should be a bit more curated, and they should feel safe enough to be in those spaces where they can have a roundtable discussion without it being too uncomfortable. So certain people, I think it makes sense for them to be on a panel, but I think, if it's someone who's my peer and in the same industry or industry I want to pivot to, I should have the opportunity to talk to them, at the same level instead of having to listen to them on a stage. There is a lot of prestige with panels. I think, especially on LinkedIn, everyone wants to be seen talking on a stage, but I think if I were to be seen talking at a round table, I would feel just as impactful. So yeah, it's very love-hate because at the end of the day, everyone wants to be invited to speak on a panel, but I think at the same time, not everyone wants to listen to a panel. Of course, panels are still working for a lot of audiences. People are attending them, even though people like me might be sitting at home because it's just not my way of listening and learning. But I'm curious what other people think. I think it's good for me to know as a professional planner, but also as someone who's looking to go to events where I can engage people differently.